Frontera, Vauxhall Frontera. Can't praise these vehicles enough, they're superb. But I've got the common instrument panel problem, which happens over time. As you can see, this was it with it all switched off, and I'm currently doing 5,000 revs and 110 miles per hour. Not good. With the clocks, I put the lights on and it slightly gets a bit different, but there we go. So the next thing to do is to remove this lower panel. Take off the fuse cap there. This should just pull forward, but remember, which Andy doesn't mention, is that under here, this is obviously the right hand driver, there is a screw to undo there. So undo that and then just lift it forward. Okay, pushing it towards you, pulling it towards you. Okay, put one hand here, pull this towards it, there it comes out. Under here as well, and that pulls off. There we go, and that's all you need to do. Okay, you'll see a screw exposed here that holds on the instrument panel. You can get in there, and similarly one just in there. Okay, so that's the first thing you do. Fine. Now what I do, I just put a little bit of cloth underneath so I don't drop the screw, but there's the screwdriver making contact with the screw, and undo that. Okay, and there's the other screw that you're going to need to undo, like the panel just there. Okay, there. Again, I've stuffed a bit of cloth underneath it just in case the screw falls out and you don't want to be rooting around trying to find that thing. Okay, so there we go. Take that screw off. Right, your other two retaining screws are at the top underneath here, just underneath, one there, one there. Okay, you probably need a shorter screwdriver to just get in there, something about this sort of size, under there and under there, to take off the last two retaining screws. Screw there, there's another one just below here. See this? Just below here, that needs to come out as well, because although most of this has come off now, it's clearly being retained by that, so that needs to come out as well. Okay, that's just now this is a little trickier than first appears because of the angle of that screw. So what I've done, I've taken out a blanking plate, a switch blanking plate, forced this down a little bit further and managed to get a screwdriver with a longer shaft onto that screw. Otherwise that is a bit of a bummer, let me tell you. Right, with that little horror of a screw there, this now is free and will all come away, the whole panel bit there. Just need to unclip a few switches from the back. Okay, you can get to your instrument panel there. Fine. To get this out, you unclip that, which is your sort of light switch thing there, and there's some others along here controlling the temperature 4x4 thing, etc. switches. So just unclip them, then you should be able to take this panel completely away. Okay, right, there it is with the panel removed. Right, so you can keep that last one there because there's plenty of flex on there to just, what's that one, the hazard warning one. So there's plenty of flex on there, just move that out of the way. And here we have our instrument panel then exposed, and there's 4 retaining screws for your instrument panel, and that should then come out pretty straightforwardly, hopefully. Let's give it a go. Right, I've now removed those 4 retaining screws. Like I say, I always put the rag underneath where you might drop it, just saves the hassle, and that just pulls straight out, as we can see, with an arrangement of connectors on the back that we're going to have to unclip. But I'm trying to do this one-handed, which is all a bit tricky, but you get the idea. Okay, now I need to put the phone down to try and manoeuvre this a little bit around this loom. Okay, just discovered another little tip. I don't know if yours has, but there's a little lever here that puts the steering wheel up and down. So guess what? I've just lowered the steering wheel a little bit, which makes it a little more room to do what you need to do. So there's another little tip for you. This is the instrument cluster now taken off. This is the back of it, and now I'm going to go through the process of using some electrical contact cleaner, actually quite cheap from the company that starts with an H. I found as cheapest. Spraying on the contacts, and I might even take out these little bulby things and give them a spray and a clean up as well, just to see, because a couple of them I've noticed have ceased working over the years as well. Right, well, I've tried putting the unit back in for the first time, and it didn't seem to make any difference at all connecting it up. So I've now taken it out. You can see that the canopy has been removed. They're just these little clips that push in, that take the whole, you just depress them, and the thing will pop off. It's a bit fiddly to begin with, but then you'll be fine. Now, what I'm now going to try and do is taking these connectors, recognising that it's these bits are the bits that make contact, not inside there, these bits. So I'm just prising them out a little bit further, just using a flat end piece for a screwdriver. So I'm going to go through them and then pop it back in and see if that makes any difference, just to try and achieve a better contact. Like I say, the contact is on the outside of these, not the inside of this connector. Right, as you can hopefully see, tacho's working now. Speedometer, I'm trying to do this one-handed, so I'm driving around a cul-de-sac. But as you can see, you know, up to 10 miles an hour, everything's working fine. Great. Right, I'll explain more in a moment. Right, now as you can see, the tacho's working. Everything's working fine, and this is irrespective of, you know, you have the problem where you turn the lights on and it sometimes works. If you can see that in the dark, yeah, that still works and all that, so that's all great. Now you'll also notice that the audio system is on. There lay the problem, which I think I did when I was putting it back. I did not connect the battery, so do connect the battery before you start this exercise, because I got a little zap when I was trying to prise out certain of the connectors that I showed earlier. And the fuse, I think it's F5, a 15 amp fuse, which is located in the panel at the side here. You know, this panel here you take off very simply. Yep. That comes off. That replaced the fuse, and hey presto, everything was back to normal. So yeah, very satisfied. I think what I've done with this dial here, I might just take it off again on my Speedo one, because that should be resting at 0 when I took them off, because the dials had settled at ridiculous locations. I actually physically moved them around with my finger, and so that probably needs to be sort of just physically recalibrated a little bit, but about 900 revs seems about right. Oh no, no, it is going up a little bit. They're a bit out of calibration, but that's more to do with me, I think, physically moving them with my finger when I had to dash out. But significant step forward, and I hope that has been of use to people. Like I say, it's not as much of a drama as possibly even this video makes out.